The Sick King in Bokhara by Matthew Arnold. Hussein, O most just Vizier, send away the cloth merchants, and let them be, them and their dues, this day. The king is ill at ease, and calls for thee. The Vizier, O merchants, tarry yet a day here in Bokhara. But at noon tomorrow, come, and ye shall pay each 40th web of cloth to me, as the law is, and go your way. O Hussein, lead me to the king. Thou teller of sweet tales, thine own, Ferdousiĺs, and the othersĺ, led. How is it with my lord? Hussein alone, ever since prayer time, he doth wait, O Vizier, without lying down, in the great window of the gate, looking into the RegistÓn, where through the sellersĺ booths the slaves are this way bringing the dead man. O Vizier, here is the Kingĺs door. The king, O Vizier, I may bury him? The Vizier, O king, thou knowĺst, I have been sick these many days, and heard no thing, for Allah shut my ears and mind. Not even what thou dost, O king. Wherefore, that I may counsel thee, let Hussein, if thou wilt, make haste to speak in order what hath chanelled. The king, O Vizier, be it as thou sighest. Hussein 3 days since, at the time of prayer, a certain mullah, with his robe all rent, and dust upon his hair, watchlowed my lord's coming forth, and pushed the golden mace-bearers aside, and fell at the Kingĺs' feet, and cried, Justice, O king, and on myself. On this great sinner, who hath broke the law, and by the law must die. Vengeance, O king. But the king spoke, what fool is this, that hurts our ears with folly? Or what drunken slave my guards, what, prick him with your spears? Prick me the fellow from the path. As the king said, so was it done, and to the mosque my lord passed on. But on the morrow, when the king went forth again, the holy book carried before him, as is right, and through the square his path he took. My man comes running, fleckled with blood from yesterday, and falling down cries out most earnestly, Lo king, my lord, O king, do right, I pray. How canst thou, ere thou hear, discern it I speak folly? But a king, whether a thing be great or small, like Allah, hears and judges all. Wherefore hear thou, thou knowest, how fierce in these last days the sun hath burned, that the green water in the tanks is to a putrid puddle turned, and the canal, that from the stream of Samarcand is brought this way, wastes, and runs thinner every day. Now I at nightfall had gone forth alone, and in a darksome place under some mulberry trees I found a little pool, and in brief space with all the water that was there I filled my pitcher, and stole home unseen, and having drink to spare, I hid the can behind the door, and went up on the roof to sleep. But in the night, which was with wind and burning dust, again I creeped down, having fever, for a drink. Now meanwhile had my brethren found the water pitcher, where it stood behind the door upon the ground, and called my mother, and they all, as they were thirsty, and the night most sultry, drained the pitcher there, that they sat with it, in my sight, their lips still wet, when I came down. Now mark, I, being feverled, sick, most unblessed also, at that sight brake forth, and cursed them, dost thou hear? One was my mother's now, do right. But my lord muscled a space, and said, send him away, sirs, and make on. It is some madman, the king said, as the king said, so was it done. The morrow at the selfsame hour in the king's path, behold, the man, not kneeling, sternly fixed. He stood right opposite, and thus began, frowning grim down, thou wicked king, most deaf where thou shouldst most give ear. What, must I howl in the next world, because thou wilt not listen here? What, wilt thou pray, and get thee grace, and all grace shall to me be grudged? Nay but, I swear, from this thy path I will not stir till I be judged. Then they who stood about the king drew close together and conferred, till that the king stood forth and said, before the priests thou shalt be heard. But when the ulemas were met and the thing heard, they doubted not, but sentenced him, as the law is, to die by stoning on the spot. Now the king chargled us secretly, elsdend must he be, the law stands so. Yet, if he seek to fly, give way. Forbid him not, but let him go. So saying, the king took a stone, and cast it softly, but the man, with a great joy upon his face, kneeled down, and cried not, neither ran. So they, whose lot it was, cast stones, that they flew thick and bruisled him sore, but he praised Allah with loud voice, and remained kneeling as before. My lord had covered up his face, but when one told him, Lay is dead, turning him quickly to go in, bring thou to me his corpse, he said. And truly, while I speak, O king, I hear the bearers on the stair. Wilt thou they straightway bring him in? Ho! Enter ye who tarry there. The vizier, O king, in this I praise thee not. Now must I call thy grief not wise. Is he thy friend, or of thy blood, to find such favor in thine eyes? Nay, were he thine own mother's son, still, thou art king, and the law stands. It were not meet the balance swerved, the sword were broken in thy hands. But being nothing, as he is, why for no cause make sad thy face? Lo, I am old. 3 kings, ere thee, have I seen reigning in this place. But who, through all this length of time, could bear the burden of his years, if he for strangers pained his heart not less than those who merit tears? Fathers we must have, wife and child, and grievous is the grief for these. This pain alone, which must be borne, makes the head white, and bows the knees. But other loads than this his own one man is not well made to bear. Besides, to each are his own friends, to mourn with him, and show him care. Look, this is but one single place, though it be great, all the earth round, if a man bear to have it so, things which might vex him shall be found. Upon the Russian frontier, where the watchers of 2 armies stand near one another, many a man, seeking a prey unto his hand, hath snatched a little fair herald slave. They snatch also, towards Merviar, the Shia dogs, who pasture sheep, and up from thence to Orgunjar. And these all, laboring for a lord, eat not the fruit of their own hands, which is the heaviest of all plagues, to that man's mind, who understands. The Kafirs also, whom God curse, vex one another, night and day. There are the lepers, and all sick. There are the poor, who faint alway. All these have sorrow, and keep still, whilst other men make cheer, and sing. Wilt thou have pity on all these? No, nor on this dead dog, O king. The king, O vizier, thou art old, I young. Clear in these things I cannot see. My head is burning, and a heat is in my skin which angers me. But hear ye this, ye sons of men. They that bear rule, and are obwild, unto a rule more strong than theirs are in their turn obedient made. In vain therefore, with wistful eyes gazing up hither, the poor man, who loiters by the high-heaped booths, below there, in the RegistÓn, says, Loppy. He, who lodges there, with silken raiment, store of rice, and for this drought, all kinds of fruits, grape syrup, squares of colored ice, with cherries served in drifts of snow. In vain hath a king power to build houses, arcades, enameled mosques, and to make orchard closes, filled with curious fruit trees, bought from far, with cisterns for the winter rain, and in the desert, spacious inns in divers places, if that pain is not more lightened, which he feels, if his will be not satisfied in that it be not, from all time the law is planted, to abide. Thou wert a sinner, thou poor man. Thou wert athirst, and didst not see, that, though we snatch what we desire, we must not snatch it eagerly. And I have meat and drink at will, and rooms of treasures, not a few. But I am sick, nor heed I these, and what I would, I cannot do. Even the great honor which I have, when I am dead, will soon grow still. So have I neither joy, nor fame. But what I can do, that I will. I have a fretted brick-work tomb upon a hill on the right hand, hard by a close of apricots, upon the road of Samarcand. Thither, O vizier, will I bear this man my pity could not save, and, plucking up the marble flags, there lay his body in my grave. Bring water, nard, and linen rolls. Wash off all blood, set smooth each limb. Then say, Lay was not wholly vile, because a king shall bury him.